Hello everyone. Now we will be beginning with frontal lobe. See, frontal lobe, you have a very important topic in frontal lobe. Okay. In frontal lobe, first you need to know is the basic anatomy, the basic functions of its various parts. What would happen if those parts would undergo a lesion? Lesion means that what would happen if those parts were not functioning properly, and how do we test frontal lobe? These are the 4 5 things that you need to know. Okay, for you we will not go into the details of the test, only names are enough, that two names of few tests. Okay, because that you will use in your clinical practice. Okay, lesions also we will not go into the details except for your PYQ that has come on frontal lobe syndrome. Okay, basically the different parts of the frontal lobe that has come as a question, so we will just try to go into one step ahead than the question. Okay, then these are the two important things. This we will have to cover in detail so that you understand. It will not be excessive details, but yeah, whatever will be there will be important for you, so try to learn in the class itself. Okay, on this note, let's begin. Before beginning, let's revise what we already know. What is the embryological anatomy of the brain? You know this. I will make you understand or learn this hundreds of times, so you do not worry. So we had three primary vesicles: prosencephalon, mesencephalon, rhombencephalon. Prosencephalon divides into telencephalon, diencephalon. Mesencephalon remains mesencephalon. Rhombencephalon divides into metencephalon and myelencephalon. Okay, myelencephalon forms medulla and spinal cord. Me10 forms pons and cerebellum. Mesencephalon forms midbrain and substantia nigra as well. Diencephalon forms all the thalamus related things, thalamus and hypothalamus. And telencephalon forms chas. We remember this mnemonic, chas. Chas is cortex, hippocampus, amygdala, and striatum. And you see what all we have done: medulla done, spinal cord done, pons, cerebellum, midbrain, substantia nigra, thalamus, hypothalamus. Okay, hippocampus, amygdala, that is the limbic system, is also done. Okay, striatum, that means your basal ganglia, that is also done. Now we come to the cortex. Okay, cortex means we will have to study all four lobes. What are the four lobes? I have already told you: frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital lobes. Fine. Apart from this, I've told you a fifth lobe also: insular lobe. This is the latest thing, so it is not there in a lot of textbook. Lot of textbooks only tell about four lobes, but yes, now we know that insula is the fifth lobe. Okay, so we will divide it into five for our convenience of understanding. Anyways, we have to read insula, so we will divide it into five. Okay, done. So now we are beginning with what? We are beginning with frontal lobe. And from your basic anatomy, you know about frontal lobe a little bit. See, of the whole brain, the largest surface area or the largest structure is the frontal lobe. So it occupies the largest surface area of the brain, and when the brain develops, it is the last to develop. When the brain is developing, I told you, the brain develops from like this. So first spinal cord, then medulla, pons, and cerebellum. It develops in this order. Okay, so frontal lobe is last to develop, so it is developing from behind to front na, so it is last to develop. Okay, and you have to remember one thing: why I am emphasizing so much on frontal lobe, because a lot of behaviors of ours, they are guided by frontal lobe. Everything: planning, organizing, sequencing, arranging, memory, emotions, then understanding emotions, recognizing emotions, understanding if someone is feeling well, not well today, everything is frontal lobe. So what is the basic difference between us and animals? Us and animals is that we can plan, organize, we can do everything. Okay, and we understand each other's emotions, etc. Okay, so the one thing that makes us human is frontal lobe. It makes us human. Okay, you have to understand these basic things. So I will not go into very theoretical things because they are not asked in your exams. We will straight away move to the anatomy of the frontal lobe. Anatomy of the frontal lobe. And to understand anatomy, you have to just pay attention here again. Where are we discussing in the brain? See, frontal lobe is not like on the one surface or in 2D I can explain you, okay, that this is frontal lobe. No, it is not like that. Okay, we will have to do a lot of effort to understand frontal lobe. Frontal lobe has a lot of surfaces. So just pay attention. Give me 2 minutes here. So this is what, this is your brain. This is your brain. Okay. This is brain. So what you see is the external surface of the brain. This whatever you are seeing is the external surface of the brain. Okay. Now what you cannot see is the internal surface of the brain. Where this, are you able to see the internal surface? Do you see the handkerchief which has kept inside? No. So you cannot see the internal surface of the brain. Okay. And there is a third surface, this surface, which is the inferior surface of the brain. So if you have to label these surfaces, this top surface is what? Superior surface. The sides are what? Lateral surfaces, because these are on the outside. If I break this into half, and show you one of the halves, then this surface which I will show you will be the medial surface, and this is the inferior surface. Okay, this is the inferior surface. I hope that you get all the surfaces. See, let's try to understand what I am trying to say. Again, the surface which you are seeing, this surface, the topmost surface is the superior surface. Okay, now I am telling you that the surface this on this side and on this side is the lateral surface. The surface which you are not able to see is what? Is your medial surface. If I break this, this is what? This is right cerebral hemisphere, this is left cerebral hemisphere. If I connect them, right cerebral hemisphere and left cerebral hemisphere, which is the structure connecting them? That is corpus callosum. Okay, if I break the corpus callosum, now keep one part away and now show you this surface. This is what? This is the medial surface of the brain. So frontal lobe has what all surfaces? It has the superior and lateral surfaces, it has the medial surface, and then it has the inferior surface. So frontal lobe occupies most of the part of the brain. Okay, most of the part of the brain. So it has these surfaces. What all? Superior surface, lateral surfaces, medial surfaces, and then the surface which will be on the downside, that will be the inferior surface. Okay. So now I will try to draw the diagram. Just you have to understand which surface I am talking about. Okay. First, I will be talking about the superior and lateral surface. That is superior lateral surface, which you can see from the outside. If I break my skull and you see my brain, the first surface that you are able to see, the outer surface, that is I am talking about this surface, superior and lateral. Okay. So medial I am not talking about at this point. Superior and lateral surface. What all will be there in the frontal lobe? Just a quick revision that we have seen. So whenever you start drawing the brain or understanding the brain, always I have told you that there are 2 pointers that you need to keep in mind. What are those? First is the deep central sulcus. So this is the main point that you need to keep in mind. Central sulcus. Every time you draw brain, first draw the central sulcus. Central sulcus divides what and what? I've already told you. It divides the frontal lobe from the parietal lobe. And then there is another deep sulcus, which is Sylvian sulcus. And Sylvian sulcus divides what and what? It divides frontal lobe from the temporal lobe. And what we are studying now is the frontal lobe. This area which I am highlighting, we are discussing only this area. We are not discussing this. Neither will we be discussing the occipital area at this moment. We are the highlighted area, frontal lobe we are discussing. We will be discussing its superior lateral surface, its medial surface and the inferior surface. But you have to understand that it is only this much area that we are talking about at this point. Okay? Understood? Whatever areas I tell you will be in this area only. Okay? Now, if someone asks you what is the location of frontal lobe, it is very easy for you to explain the location of the frontal lobe. This is the central sulcus. This is the sylvian sulcus. So, frontal lobe is this nose will be this side because cerebellum is this side. So, back of the head will be this side. Back of the head will be this side. So, frontal lobe is anterior in front of the central sulcus. Am I right? Yes. So, frontal lobe is located anterior to central sulcus. This is your first point that you need to remember. And it is located superior. See, the thing, this is sylvian sulcus. The thing below the sylvian sulcus will be inferior. The thing above the sylvian sulcus will be superior. So, the frontal lobe is located superior to sylvian sulcus. If they ask you about temporal lobe will be located inferior to sylvian sulcus. I've explained you the directions yesterday only. Okay. So, now it is the time to use them. So, if you want to tell somebody where is frontal lobe, so you will say on the superolateral surface. If we talk about the superolateral surface, frontal lobe is located anterior to the central sulcus and superior to the sylvian sulcus. So, there are two main sulcus, and with relation to them, you will tell the location of the frontal lobe. This you know. Now, if we talk about what all things are there on the frontal lobe surface. So again, this is your central sulcus, this is your sylvian sulcus. Okay. Now I am telling you, you know sulcus and gyri, na? Last lecture only I told you sulcus and gyri. So sulcus and gyri. So in frontal lobe, what all sulcus and what all gyri you find? So in the first sulcus that you find in frontal lobe is the precentral sulcus. So, this is the bifurcation here. This is known as the precentral sulcus. See, you have to understand that anything which is before the structure is known as pre, which is after the structure is known as post. Very easy English terms only. So, if this is the central sulcus and we know that nose will be this side, back of the head will be this side, and I am looking from here. For me, if some structure is here, it is before the central sulcus, na? It is before the central sulcus, na? So, precentral sulcus. If the thing would have been here, this would be post-central sulcus. Okay? Understood? And between two sulcus, I told you there is a gyri. So, this area will be precentral gyri. See, the names are not important for you. Just for your developing your understanding, I am telling you. Okay? Precentral gyri. Okay? Then, coming to this area, the remaining area. See, we have to talk about this whole area, na? So, we have seen precentral sulcus, precentral gyri. Okay. Now, we come to this remaining area. Here, we have which lobe we are talking? We are talking about the frontal lobe. So, if I see only this part, this will be the superior part, this will be the middle part, this will be the inferior part of this particular part. So, if there is a sulcus here, okay, this sulcus will be known as superior frontal sulcus, and this sulcus will be known as inferior frontal sulcus. Similarly, between this surface and the superior frontal sulcus, there will be gyri. Between two sulcus will be gyri. So, this will be superior frontal gyri, this will be middle frontal gyri, this will be inferior frontal gyri. Okay, inferior frontal gyri. This is so easy. Basically, if you know sulcus and gyri, this becomes very easy for you. Understood? Okay. Understood na? So, If we talk about superior lateral surface, what all is present there? On the superior lateral surface, we have the central sulcus. We have the precentral sulcus. Between two sulcus is a gyri, so we have the precentral gyri. Okay. Then we have the superior frontal sulcus, inferior frontal sulcus, the superior frontal sulcus and inferior frontal sulcus. Okay. Between the superior frontal sulcus and inferior frontal sulcus, we have the middle frontal gyri. Basically, it is like superior frontal gyri, middle frontal gyri, inferior frontal gyri. Okay. If you can remember the names, very good. If you cannot remember the names, nothing is going, because they are not asking you these names. Especially for one or two areas, they will ask that I will tell you. So do not worry about that. Okay.